Welcome to Perth Hockey Stadium, where we have perfect conditions for Premier League action today. It's WASPS taking on Whitfords. I'm Josh Duane on the sidelines, and your commentators today, Nick Neary and Tim Gears.
Thank you very much, Josh. And what a spectacular afternoon we have, Tim. As Josh pointed out, sun's out. It was raining this morning. I was trying to get around a quick round of golf, and the sun comes out of the sky, and now we're just ready for some great hockey.
Yeah, it's set to be a cracker here between Whitford and WASPS, and the conditions are significantly better than what we had during the week. I think we were here Tuesday night and or Friday night, was it? And it was drizzly all night. It was a miserable sort of evening here in Perth. But the sun's out today, and perfect conditions for what's set to be a really interesting game, I think.
Yeah, just a little bit of breeze around, but it's more up in the air. Down here, sunken in at Perth Hockey Stadium. There shouldn't be any effect on the game at all. Into the Premier League, men's results from last week. Whitford's going down to UWA 7-3, and a fantastic little outing for the Wasps. They were in it for most of the way, but eventually the Reds just getting right on top 2-0.
Yeah, and Reds are one of the better teams in the competition, and I think Wasps have... You know, the results haven't been going their way, but we played them recently and they hung in there for a lot of the game, and they're only going down by small margins, but they're a very young team. They've got a really important inclusion of Trent Minton today who strengthen their ranks.
Now we move on to the ladder. We see there Whitford still cellar dwelling at the bottom there. It's been an unfortunate year. Second last with just the 3 wins, and it's what's going to be in Moss' mind at the moment. They've only got one more win, but it's bragging rights once again. 4 wins for them. They've really got to push and just stay in contact with at least not these bottom 4 on the ladder.
Yeah, that's right. And I really like the project that Whitfords are kind of building at their club. They're trying to play some really good hockey, and, you know, they've come a long way in a couple of years, despite the results not seeming that way. So I think this is going to be a really good contest.
Onto the team list for this afternoon, and we'll talk about just quickly that big inclusion. Trent Minton, saw him early last week, and now he's back from Europe, as you were saying. He's just such a massive forward for this team. Yeah,
former Kookaburra, Perth Thunderstick. He's been playing in Europe for a number of months now, but he's come back to Perth for a few games, and he's really going to help them in the firing lineup in the attack for Wasps.
Both McIntyres starting on the bench, Murray and Charlie, but they just have such a huge inclusion up front for this side. And we can always talk about the best, just the captain of this side, runs through, does all the work. And of course, Joel Minton will come off the bench as well, helping out his brother. Over onto Whitfords now. We've spoken about the back 2 before, and speaking to Sam Bonestar before the game, really focusing on structure through that back 2 through him and Modolo.
Yeah, that's right. And they've got Anand Gupti in there, who's a player in the national development squad. He's the one at the top of the circle at the moment, practicing his drag flicking, but he's really the player who drives their play forward from back in the field, and they'll be leaning on him to create a lot of their play.
Julian Montone, the import for this side, is going to be crucial as well, just for key in that transition as they move themselves up the field. It's going to be a big outing for both these sides today. Whitford's taking on the Wasps. We're just about a minute away from pushback time, and we can just settle into a fantastic afternoon of Premier League hockey here in WA once again. Do you have an early tip for us here, Tim?
Oh, you'd have to, with Wasps including Trent Minton today, you'd have to lean their way. Like I said, they've been playing some really good hockey lately, just results haven't been going their way. But I really expect Whitfords to give them a really tough time of things today. So I'm tipping Wasps, but I think it'll be an even contest.
One we haven't seen this season for Whitfords as well that I can bring back on, Vishan Devchan, experienced cricketer, great golfer. His hockey talents are second to none as well. He comes from a very sporting family. They've reached heights throughout many of their siblings, played with a couple of them through a few different codes, in fact. He's going to be pivotal for them. He's in 42 for you today. We'll see that big man run around for us all afternoon.
Yeah, and he's just about to execute a shot here at the top of the circle, but he's one of a number of players in Whitford that pose some sort of danger. Like I said, the results probably don't show it on the ladder, but they've got more than, you know, a few really handy players in their lineup who will give Wasps a bit of trouble if they're not switched on.
Yeah, it's all about those unknowns here for Whitford at the moment. It's a building program, a lot of X-Factor players that can just surprise you from out of nowhere. I'm excited to see where this one goes. 2 games for us here this afternoon as well. First up is this men game, Wasps versus Whitfords, and second up, Wasps versus Westside Wolves. Westside Wolves will be looking to add to their winning tally this afternoon with just such a strong women's outfit.
Yeah, they don't lose many. That's set to be a really good contest as well, but yeah, Wolves, they've been a dominant side for a number of years in the women's division, and looking forward to that one after today's men's game.
Whitford just staying out on the park past post time. They just want to grind an extra couple of seconds out of this warm-up, let the Wasps go a little bit cold. Like to see it. They're really hesitant to come in. The toss is finally being made now. Looks like Whitfords have won it. We don't have much intel for you out of there as well.
No.
No pointing of directions, no my ball, your ball. Your umpires for this afternoon are Jordan Moore and Tom Keating. Tom Keating, we see a lot in these feature matches down here. He's a terrific one coming through the system.
Yeah, fantastic player, and he's developing his umpiring too, which is great for the competition. Jordan Moore, he umpired last night. Tom Keating umpired Friday night, so on double duty this weekend, the boys in purple.
Will be Jordan Moore as well, wearing the microphone for us this afternoon, so we'll get to hear some great insights out of the man himself throughout proceedings. See exactly how he interacts with the player. The last game we heard out of Whitford as well, they were very argumentative. I can blame as well Curtin. They were very argumentative throughout that game. It's hard to keep these teams under a handle sometimes, so we'll see how he deals with the job of this Whitford attack coming their way. Well, mainly the defence screaming instructions.
And that would have been a fiery contest between Whitford and Curtin down the bottom end of the ladder. I'm sure there was plenty of emotion, and that probably leads into some discussion towards the umpires if things don't go their way. You can see Phil Marshall just down on the sideline, just giving his final instructions to his team. The Wasps are making their way out onto the pitch.
Almost set and ready to go. We might see if we got Josh back down sideline. Have you got any final insights, anything you picked up from these team huddles, Josh?
Just having a chat to Coach Phil Marshall, and certainly he's got a couple of players that are a little bit new to proceedings, and he wanted everybody to know that the import, Julian Mentone, pronounced with a soft J, so Julian. Just a note for you commentating up there.
Thank you very much, Josh. That's vital information. All set and ready to go now. Just waiting for the keepers to trundle on down into position, and we'll be underway here. It will be the final one of the Sabato, the keeper for Whitford, who will be the last player in position. He's only about at the 25 now. But then we can amp up the energy. Then we can get involved in this one, Tim.
Yeah, and he's a pivotal player for them, Ben DeSabato. He's one of the main leaders at their hockey club. He's very vocal, he's very passionate, and he's a very good goalkeeper. So I'm sure you'll see plenty of him throughout the game, or at least hear him.
All set. Wasps with the pushback. They're immediately going to send this one wide. See exactly how they want to set up this afternoon's affairs. Happy to just circle around for the moment. Cudby patrols well from the back. Solid effort inside. Kyle Potter, we've seen plenty of him straight through the core of this midfield all year. Mitten will just pass down the sideline. Half a little sniff at their first opportunity. Just an unsuccessful little trap out wide. Nothing comes of it.
You can probably expect a lot of ball down the right-hand side for Wasps. They've lined up with their captain, Brynda Bessett, right half. Duncan Pearce on the right side of defence. Kyle Potter looks like he'll play in the middle of the midfield, and Trent Mitten, the all-important inclusion. He's put himself out at right wing, so you can expect them at every chance possible to try and play pro-right.
Shifting well. Pressure from Whitford. Very good so far. Just forcing this ball from Pearce down the side. Bodenstaff tries to get a stick up involved. Tries to stay alive here. Gets it back. Draws the free. Smartly done. Had nowhere really to go. Going aerial. Hits into the defender's space. Easy one for Cudby just to bring down and across. Joel Mitten's sideline for McGrath. Just tries to push through. Turned over. Potter now has a little bit of a chance outside of here. Mitten out wide. Wants to get the ball inside first. Cracks on a shot. Just needed a deflection. Not quite there, but a very promising attack here from the Wasps early.
Yeah, this ball was just slipped out to the right, and he almost just trips and gets the ball caught under his feet, Trent Mitten. He didn't really have it well set up for a shot. But again, you can see the danger of turning the ball over in midfield there, that they'll go lightning quick in attack, and you don't want to give Trent Mitten too many sniffs at goal. They'll be bouncing off the backboard pretty quickly.
Just a missed little pass down the left.
It'd be interesting to see how Whitford's set up in defence here, because for most of the year they've played a zone in their press, and they tend to fall away, and they tend to mark space rather than mark players. So it's a little bit different. It's something that's come into hockey in the last few years, and particularly in the local competition over here, probably in the last 12 months. So it'll be interesting when Wasps are outletting, just to see how they do set up off the ball.
Potter, cramp for space.
It's my mistake.
Free goes Potter's way. Bit of confusion, both sides. Easy work for Pearce, just to amble up to this one, assess what's in front of him. Not the greatest pass from Cudby there.
No, Pearce just caught on his heels and it spits over the sideline. And Whitford have a chance just to make their way up the field and hold the ball in their front half for the first time this quarter. Been a bit on the back foot in the first 3 minutes, but this is a good opportunity for them to just build some play.
Space across the side for Bowden staff. Has a look forward. Inboard ball, Potter intercepts. Nicely dekes it between the legs and just sprays this one a bit wide. Would have got a stick on it. So stay in Wasp control to Bess. Just having a little snipe. Didn't like Charlie McIntyre in front of him, so they'll recycle. Pearce has to work a little bit hard for that one.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not thrilled with the ball delivery he's received in the opening minutes of the game. A couple of stray passes from his fellow defenders.
Pearce over the top this time, showing him how it's done. Just need to be trapped out wide to Bess. Well defended.
It'll be a sore one. You don't want to wear too many of them in the ankles from such short distance.
Potter only gets a little faint touch on it. Was accidental, led to Mitten inside, but couldn't do much with it.
Good tackle under pressure there from Whitford, deep in their defence. Trent Mitten running the baseline. Took it really cleanly onto Trent Mitten's foot and come out with a 16-yard hit.
Centre field for Norton. Just passes backwards. Nice flick over the top to space. Had to be good Pearce in the air and was. And get the foot. We're just going to let it run out anyway. So 5 minutes gone in this one. You'd say Wasps are more in control, but they haven't really threatened except for the lone chance Mitten yet so far.
Yeah, and that was probably gifted to them, in all honesty. Yeah, a little bit of a stalemate in this first 5 minutes. Both teams just filling each other out.
Bowden staff again. Really direct. Now they try to push forward. Pressure from Potter too good. Just lets the ball amble out. A little body check by Norton as they come across the sideline. Go down Josh's sideline. Is there a little bit more in that than we see?
Matthew G just got a little clip on the ankle there. He's just hopping around at the moment, but he seems to be okay.
Thank you very much, Josh. Chance turnover. Whitford not quite there. Got to get underneath themselves. Lots of players around the ball. They'll draw the foot free as well. Just stagnant, not pulling out of that effectively. Three of them just standing in the channel. I don't think it's going to be intentional.
No. Number 11 for Whitford, Josh McRae. He's one that you can keep an eye on for Whitford's going forward. He's a very busy player. He plays with high energy and hits goals. So I'm sure they'll be trying to get the ball to him in their attack as much as possible.
Bit of Bulldogs-esque naming about them. They've got a Norton and McRae, Whitford. They got the similar stripe on as well. As they try push forward through the middle. Not quite there, turned over. And now Trent Minton with a little bit of space to push forward. Tried to be a bit cute with it. Turned over sharply. But thrown away Whitford again. And he'll have a little break. Robertson comes on for Minton. Good bit of space to start charging this one forward. Whitford get a first little look. Farmer, his ball just gets touched across. Needed a little bit more bite on it. Now Robertson, fresh legs on, his first touch. Throws it down the left, but the cutting run from McIntyre was back on the right-hand side.
Both teams just struggling to connect passes, just a little bit careless with the ball early on, but a good chance here to break forward. Simon Norton carrying for Whitford's. Ball goes in, well cleaned up by Duncan Pearce, who does it so well.
Good little steal underneath as well. Yeah, a busy little man underneath. McRae still having a go, trying to stick the stick in every angle. Lots of pressure down the sideline against Wasps. Murray McIntyre lets it run out, wants to play on quickly. Just feeding this one back, not much on offer.
Well, they're making life hard for themselves here, Wasps. Each time they win the ball, that's the third careless pass around the back that we've seen. The second one that's gone straight over the sideline. And when they are winning the ball, they're just struggling to find their teammates. I'm sure it's something Ian Birchall will want to clean up heading into quarter time.
Chance to go forward once again. A slip from the defender gives Dev Chan a chance to come across on it. Couldn't quite be there. Now the inboard has to come from Montoni. Good setup here. No one really at the top of the circle. Win the little free down the side. Nothing Joel Minton could do to get out of the way. This one's got to travel.
It's going to come up for a long corner. Probably a better spot to have their free hit to than buried down on the edge of the circle.
Bowden Staff lays backwards. Good push forward, just a little bit wide, but searching there for Josh McRae. And you're right here, boss. You see Whitford immediately just fall back. No real intent or pressure. They're going to send a forward up. But it's not exactly like they're hounding them to get onside.
Yeah, it's an interesting zone that they're playing because in their front 6 players, it looks like they're playing some sort of zone, but their back 3 players are marking. Again, it's something we've seen a little bit come into the game in the last 12 months or so. Some teams can play a full zone where everyone marks space. Some teams can play some sort of hybrid press where they'll play zonal in their front field and marking in the defence. Carelessly turned over here in the midfield. It goes aerial from Whitford's.
Now that's one of the tougher calls where we're speaking previously about whose space is it. Both players coming across at the exact same time. Defender obviously in front though.
Yeah, an easier one for Jordan Moore there to call because the ball was dropping and there was no clear person under the ball. It was into a contest. So it's a pretty easy one to give to the defence on that occasion. The difficulty becomes if there's separation, then whose ball is it and who's under the ball first and who owns the space. So something to keep an eye on as the afternoon progresses. It's a rule that causes a lot of confusion amongst teams at the moment, and it's not an easy one to umpire.
It was a handy ball inside. Josh McRae just couldn't get the final full touch on it. He's going to head himself to the sideline. Well-deserved break for the man. Five minutes to go in the first period here, and a chance turnover. It's just a dangerous ball over the top. Couldn't control it, Christie. Thrown away once again.
Now we'll be interested to get Ian Birch's thoughts at quarter time if we can. Just the message he gives his players, because there's a lot of ball handling and skill errors at the moment, and they're just costing themselves trying to go forward. It's a pretty easy fix. We'd like to think so.
Absolutely run over by Joel Minton, who gets the ball back. Just got to fire this one inboard. Trent Minton circling deep, wants it, but they're trying to play for the penalty corner as much as they can and do end up winning it. Yeah, well done there by Paul Robertson with his 2 players on his back shoulder, and he's just done well to find a foot and up into the body of the Whitford player. Gives Wasps their first look at a penalty corner for the game. Be interesting to see what they go to here. Trent Minton does have a history of being able to drag flick occasionally. Whitford just changing their defence as well.
I'll need to be quick with 10 seconds left on the clock. DeBess will inject. We've got a double battery at the top of the circle with Bainham and Cudby. We've got Trent Minton on the first battery and Matheson G on the second battery. This will be going to battery 1, Trent Minton. I'd suspect it'll be going direct. We've got Potter out at L1.
I think they got away with one there, Was.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see on the replay here. It does go to Trent Minton on the first battery. It does look to have struck him high, but the umpire's conferring and awarding a retake of the penalty corner.
Same plan?
I would think so. Good solid right foot by Ben DeSabato. It was Minton again from battery 1. He went low to the keeper's stick side, but a lot of times in penalty corner defence, you'll see the goalkeeper's offset. You can see here directed his right foot, and it's a really good, strong save from DeSabato.
Didn't panic there at all either. Knew exactly what he was about. And it was a good little hustle there. Devon Farmer to keep that one in play. Wasn't going to let Wasps just come have another attack at them with 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. Bowden Staff will feed this one down the side for Devon Farmer, who just can't control things. McGrath circling around, does well to dislodge the stick and move things forward, just out of the reach of Trent Minton. Not happy about it either.
Yeah, not happy, and again, it's one of a number of passes that have gone stray forward for Wasps. Just needed a little bit more care with the ball, and they would have found Minton one-on-one in their attacking 35.
He's uncontested as well. That's the real problem I think Trent has with it. He never had anyone around him. Just waiting for this ball to come back for Whitford's sideline. Everybody wants a piece.
It's best thinking it was his free hit. The umpire's suggesting the other way. Can be a little bit fortunate. You've seen previous instances of players taking the ball without looking which way the umpire's pointing. It's a dangerous one to do in your defensive 25. It can sometimes result in a penalty corner depending on who's umpiring.
Foot just outside. Didn't travel 5.
No. Maybe 2.5.
Yeah. Minton gets the chance to play on quickly. Wants to dice this one on the inside. Turns his player inside out. Minton just still folding forward. He's still got 3-on-1, but wants to loop back around. Had to play it deep, didn't take it. Gee, I think the ball there had to be for Lachlan Sampson at the top of the circle.
Yeah, you can see it's a fantastic run by Trent Minton. He's worn one on the way through too, which I'm surprised the umpires haven't called back. Yeah, Lachlan Sampson was available, but he's done well to win his team another penalty corner, Minton. And again, I think Whitfords are lucky to still have 11 players on the field, because there was a stopping tackle that Minton wore probably across his knees on the way through.
He's tough.
He is tough, and the umpires are happy to let it go early. I'm sure he won't want to wear too many more of those. Duncan Pearce back on the field for Wasps. Battery 1 goes that way.
Handy shot, just blocked again. So pivotal in this game. Here's the Whitford goalkeeper. Stolen. Potter tried to play forward. Cops a deflection. They'll stay in control here. One more look at that paint. Oh, just so solid.
Yeah, and his left hand. I was just wondering if it might have taken a deflection on the way through off one of the runners.
Then it's just even more impressive. Really like the attacking presence of Devon Farmer so far. He's really pushing down this right-hand side. Knows when to turn back and around. This one just out of reach. Might have just stayed in. No, out.
A lot of the Whitford's play goes through Denver Farmer. He's their driving force in midfield. He sometimes plays out here on the right side of defence to try and penetrate on the outside.
A rare fumble from Potter. Almost led to a turnover. Wasps recover. McIntyre just down the left-hand side. Has to exit out of this one. Oh, rogue pass.
Yeah, again, that's the third one now in the first quarter alone, under no pressure, that's gone sailing over the sideline. They're just letting Whitford off the hook at the moment, Wasps.
Final minute of this first term. Lazy ball from Whitfords. Nothing quite there. Now it's going to be Minton down in the corner, one-on-one with Bowden Staff. He just jabs a stick in, gives away the free. Good ball. Unable to fire it on the in, Sampson. Now they have a little crack again. Played on quickly by Max Bayman. Gets it in. Minton has a shot. Just blocked her off the upright. They're stuck inside the circle and managed to clear. There's a good defence. Yeah, well taken quickly by Max Bayman. Just found Trent Minton in a little pocket of space inside the D for a quick shot. And the third time that Di Sabato's been called into action. That one off the back of the stick there. There's 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. They'll just look to run this clock down. 5 to go here, and they're going to call out the player to come take it. Expire the clock. The keeper from the opposite end's already off. And 0-0 will be the score at quarter time. And you got to say, both coaches probably not exactly thrilled with the skill they're seen on to play. No, the passing quality and the quality of possession has been fairly ordinary, to be frank, in the first quarter. And I'm sure Ian Bircher, if we can get a microphone in there, it'd be fascinating to see his message to his players. But I'm sure it'll be around taking care of the pass.
Get a drink. Okay. Why are we walking in with drooped heads? Why? Yeah, we're not playing well. We're not handling the ball well. There's no energy. But in the second half of that quarter, we wrestled momentum back, right? And the keeper's made some really good saves. In the last minute, we're putting pressure and pressure and pressure and pressure. You just got to stick with it. It'll come. Mop up the defensive end, get sorted, because that's the only time they're going to come at us is in the counter-attack or when we're not ready, right? And we're just drifting around unorganised. Get organised at the back, shift the ball better, and start playing with some energy, okay? Shift the ball wide, keep going wide and keep going around them. Keep getting corners. Keep flicking it and flicking it and flicking it at him and keep hitting it and hitting it. Get the pads, but we've just got to lift the tempo. Lift the energy, lift the communication, and it'll come. But stay positive. Stay positive, okay? We're creating a lot of chances. Okay, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, you can sense the frustration there, boys. Those skill errors just leading to turnovers and really costing Wasps at this stage.
He's done well to hold off an expletive there, Ian Bircher, but
he's learning.
No surprise that he's a little bit frustrated with his team's energy and their ball movement and their errors handling the ball. You could hear him say their ball handling wasn't good and he felt they weren't playing well, but he's spot on. His team have created probably 2 or 3 really good opportunities, so they shouldn't be too disappointed if they can clean up their ball handling going forward and just mop up that lapse of concentration at the back. It's pretty clear his message to his team that stick with the process and the result will come.
I didn't mind the intro to the speech as well. Why are we coming in with drooped heads? There was no reason to actually be down and about. You're not losing this game. You're just a little bit fumbly at the moment.
It can be a bit frustrating for players sometimes when you've had the lion's share of possession and a few decent opportunities and you can't convert. Frustration builds, but he's spot on. They just need to stick with it.
Good movement off the pushback that intentionally went forward. Mitten tried to circle himself centre field. They recycle around and Potter's going to have a look to go forward. It's a great ball from Mitten. Craftily done, just couldn't get the stick on it. Unfortunate there, the Wasps almost there. It was handy by Mitten.
Yeah, it was a sumptuous bit of play actually. They were passing, moving on angles, one-touch hockey. Again, it's just that attention to detail and that final execution of that final skill inside the attacking circle that's let them down again. But the build-up play was fantastic, and I'm sure Ian Bircher will be much happier with the quality of the movement and the passing in the opening seconds of this second quarter.
Good ball down the right-hand side again. This one flicked to advantage, just wasn't able to stay in for Sampson to get there in time. I like the pressure they're starting to put on Potter as well. He looks like he doesn't have that much time when he's getting these centre field balls. You let him control the play, you're going to be in a lot of danger. Quickly taken, Whitford over the top. Pearce just stealing out of the air. Well controlled. This time the ball should be able to be progressed forward. Robertson to nobody.
Yeah, wasteful once again. They had a 2-on-2 opportunity going forward, but it's just a hit and hope to nobody. Rather than just holding up the play, Paul Robertson, and trying to find a better option and trying to maintain some front half possession. Just a little bit careless once again.
Mitten just denying Bodenstaff any opportunity. So he goes over the top of his head this time instead. Missed in the air. Cleaned up nicely. Now Potter's got space to move finally. Wants to go aerial. There's a clear tactic to make this right wing a very, very opportune activity for Wasps this afternoon, as well pointed out early by you. Just not coming to plan. Stolen by the best again.
Good opportunity here. Mitch McGrath breaking forward. They've got a 3-on-3.
Oh, keeper just doing so well. Once again, the pass not quite to advantage, but big commitment to come out and actually get involved here.
Yeah, it was a nice little reverse stick pass there from Mitch McGrath. Just unable to find Charlie McIntyre, and Ben DiSapato coming up and mopping up again for his team.
Good ball. Potter just didn't have too much time once it trundled through to him. McGrath, forward ball. They're all looking for it inside. Just a delay, looking for the penalty corner. Whitford's away on the attack. They can pull this one back and left if they want, and do so now. Running into a lot of traffic, so they're going to have to keep it down the left side. Just winning the foot nicely. Was going to set up for Simon Norton down the left, but they can get everyone involved here.
Yeah, Anand Gupti, the one, ordinary tackle. But Anand Gupta, the one mopping up in defence and surging forward for his team. Again, they'll be looking for him to create the majority of their play, but that's what Ian Birch was talking to his team about at quarter time. They just need to be really organised at the back and aware of how Whitfords are going to attack, because it's likely to be a counter-attack, and you saw that exhibited there.
Pearce just pushed that one out in front of him a bit. Had to pick a smart option and found Potter out on the right. Chance for Sampson to spin inside. Wants to get it back. Almost does, if not for a could intercept. And now they can push forward. Norton looks around, just has to settle after winning the free. Gupti starting to look a lot more direct, this Whitford attack now. A chance for a shot on goal. Cracks it straight in.
What a finish. Fantastic finish. Again, just slicing through the Wasps defence there. I'm sure Ian Birchall won't be happy with his team here, but it was a fantastic goal from Whitford. A nice receive. Burnt through the channel. Left to right, and a clinical finish in the bottom left corner. Fantastic finish. Duncan Christie on the board for Whitfords, and it's really the first opportunity they've had.
Well, they've just been looking all around abouts, nothing too threatening. But in that last 2 minutes, they had 2 snipes directly up the middle, and now one of them's paid off.
And it's just a bit of energy, and he's caught Wasps off guard and switched off there, and it's just an acceleration and a bit of dynamism in the play. And again, just a little bit of energy, and he's able to create a goal-scoring opportunity. But it's one thing to create that opportunity and another to finish it as well as he did, and it straight in off the opposite side sideboard.
Jack Longangen
Be interesting to see how Wasps respond here.
gets pushed to ground, gets to his feet, and plays it up. Pearce, great ball again. Just this ball, not there. Doak, Brendan Doak. I think there's got to be 5, 6 now. Just complete Swifties to 10 metres of space and out.
Yep, absolutely. And as Trent Mitten just makes an intercept and cruises forward, nothing coming his way.
Good play by Whitford, just trying to find this space again. Now they circle and trundle forward. They'll take the foot. Just can't confirm his old jersey change for you. It is Dev Chan in 20. Thank you to Josh Sideline for that. Good ball over the top. Oh no, I thought there was a Whitford player down there. That's complete open space. Oh, gives away the sideline.
Yeah, there was no need for him to even try and trap it there, Jack Lunigan, but he tried to keep it in, and it just hit the edge of his stick and run straight over the sideline. Gives Whitfords another opportunity to penetrate here through Montone. Ricochets off the corner flag, deep down in the Whitfords attacking half. Ball spills in. Oh, it's just fortunately found the foot of the Whitfords player for Wasps, but you can see again Josh McRae just lurking in the circle, always busy.
He's quick around the mark, isn't he? Changes directions, wants to change the angles, be free all the time. Potter, midfield. Long way down the ground here for Murray McIntyre. Tries to flick it forward to his son, and it goes over the baseline. Might just even go down. Josh Sideline, what's the vibe down there since we've seen Whitford's goal?
Yeah, certainly Wasps have stepped up their intensity, and Nick, Soldier up the river there was another jumper change. You were correct initially. Vishan Devshan is in jumper 42, and Lyndon Ross is in jumper 20.
Thank you very much, Josh Sideline. Flicking in board, Whitford another chance, going to get tied up. Not happy the free didn't go their way, but it looks all clean to me.
Yeah, I think they were just arguing that the ball had hit him high on the leg there. Arguing for a penalty corner, but umpire Jordan Moore said it was off his foot.
Boys, just on the sideline here, we've got Denver Farmer with the physio, just getting a little working over. It looks like his right leg, he's in a bit of trouble, and he's spent a fair bit of time off the ground already. So hopefully he will get him back on, but at the moment, just struggling.
He's had a history of injury problems, Denver Farmer, unfortunately, because he's a very talented player. So I'm sure Coach Phil Marshall will be hoping to get him back on the field as quickly as possible.
7 minutes to go in this second period. Whitford's in full control at the moment. Still only a 1-0 lead. And with the class of some of these players at Wasps, they can turn around at any moment. But now McRae with a shot on goal, just flicks it, well kept out left foot. tremendous coming out. Jai Clark wanted to be a piece of that and got all of it.
Yeah, they can thank Jai Clark that they're not 2 goals down Wasps. It was a terrific steal in midfield there from Whitford's, and they broke forward quickly through Montone, slipped it under his shoulder to Josh McRae, who took the shot on for the first time, and Jai Clark was there to close him down really well.
He's tough, Denver Farmer boys, just feeling for his hamstring, but he is going to come back onto the ground shortly.
Is pivotal for this Whitford's outfit. Going to be key if they can keep progressing forward. They can only do so much without him. Murray McIntyre gets a touchdown on the sideline. Bowden Staff just gets in the way. A little bit of zest on the throwback there by McIntyre.
Yeah, probably just frustrated. A little bit of frustration creeping into Wasps at the moment. They've had so much of the early play and they got caught snoozing. And after failing to capitalise on their early opportunities, they now find themselves 1 goal down with 6 minutes remaining in the first half.
What can they do from here? We'll start with Longaregan. Inboard nicely, comes off everybody. Short corner. Not even sure who it came off there.
Yeah, I think it just deflected up off, could have been Simon Norton's stick, up into the Wasps player dangerously, and really a penalty corner out of nothing, but it just comes from a crash ball, which from time to time can be an effective method. Just sending one into the circle, and the defenders have to make a clean trap, and if they don't, as you can see, the result can be a penalty corner. Gives Wasps a chance to level things up.
No Trent Minton out there at the moment, so it's going to fall on smaller shoulders.
No Duncan Pearce out there either. So they've lined up with Lonergan on battery 2. It looks like Matheson G on battery 1.
Couldn't even go for Murray McIntyre here.
Yeah. It did go to battery 1 to Matheson G. Just clipped the first runner's foot on the way through, so they'll get another chance. Can be hard when you don't have a really serious penalty corner threat. It's such an effective way of scoring goals in the modern game, and with Pearce and Mitten both off the field, they're going to have to come up with something here, Wasps. That's in.
Bad defense. I'm going to put that all down to G. Just goes straight underneath them all. Absolutely nothing in opposition. 1-1, and Whitford will not be happy.
Well, that's what happens when you get the ball on the target. We'll just see here whether it took a little nick on the way through. It just seemed to catch Bendy Sabato off guard, and the postman was beaten.
I think recognising that they didn't have a main shooter out there, they kind of just bum-rushed Whitfords. They just all came off the line. There was no real wall happening. They were just separated, wanted to push up.
Denver Farmer back on, boys, testing out that leg straight away into the play.
Christie
wore one for his trouble too. He's just clutching his head because he did take a fair whack on the way through.
That's exactly how you want to get back out there.
There's been 2 or 3 slightly agricultural tackles in this first half, and so far the umpires, Jordan Moore and Tom Keating, have let it go. Interesting to see if they start to crack down.
Able to go up the middle once again, whilst inviting them in. Silly pass, just goes straight to the best. They got a chance to get away down the right wing again. They can buy time. Want to keep progressing forward. Max Bayman. Quiet day for him so far, but we know he can turn it on at any moment. Does well to keep possession the entire time here. Needs to find a friend though. Couldn't find Potter behind him, which it might come to him off the next pass. Tackle not a good one. Yes, it is. Chance to get away for Whitford. I'll take the free here as well. It's good work by Montu just to keep working on. Now they want to set up patience.
Much better second quarter here from Whitford. They've had much more control of the ball. They look dangerous on the counter-attack, or any time they stream through the middle of the field towards goal, they look really dangerous.
The ball from Prunster wasn't the greatest, so they have to go back and recycle again. Here is Devon Farmer. Just couldn't get that ball up to Dev Chan. Smartly out, Jack Cudby.
Another issue for Whitford's down here, boys. Josh McRae, he's been off the ground for a little while, just stretching his lower leg as well. Hopefully going to get back on, but he certainly spent at least 5 minutes off the field.
Going to have to get the pickle juice down to the bench at half-time. They're all cramping up here at the moment, Whitfords.
He's not one they'll want to lose either. It's concerning with 2 of their better players, Denver Farmer and Josh McRae, carrying niggles this early in the game.
Good chance now. Farmer to go forward. Matthew Christie Tries a good pass, but once again, Jack Hubby, he's come alive in the last couple of minutes. Does not want to let Whitfords get close. Farmer has to do a lot of work. Trent Mitten, he's better than that. He just steals it and starts to get on his bike. He's got a few in his way still, but he's backing himself across the mall. Good tackle. Mitten looks around.
Yeah, this is where you want Mitten on the ball if you're Whitford. Passing it backwards to his defence on the 50 line. You don't really want him running at defenders in the attacking 25.
Good chance, straight up the middle again. Now they're inside. Free shot on goal, just having to wear that from the dangerous. But that was too easy inside.
Yeah, and that's probably the energy that Ian Birch is demanding from his team. You just saw Brenda Best just come to life there, put a bit of energy in, a bit of dynamic movement. Fantastic ball carrying into the circle. Looked like he hit it with the back of his stick and it was missing the target. It's hit the Whitfords player on the way through, so they breathed a sigh of relief. But I'm sure that's something Ian Birch will want more from his team. That sort of energy in the game that we've just seen from DeBess. But it's going to take more than one player to do it.
Good news for Whitford's boys. Josh McRae finally back onto the field.
Cheers, Josh. McIntyre. Good advancing ball for Mitten. He's going to have two defenders to worry about. It's a great tackle, but Potter now gets inside, has a crack, and down to his right-hand side. T. Sabito just kicks it away again. He's having a good game so far, except for the penalty corner we won't mention. And just straight into the kneecap of Devchan.
Yeah. This could go direct into the circle, which it does from Potter. Fantastic pass to find Trent Mitten, who shoots, and it's beaten Di Sabato. You don't want to give him too many looks in the circle, Trent Mitten. He's particularly dangerous, and it was a fantastic pass into the circle from Kyle Potter to find him. Yeah, he makes no mistake.
Bodenstaff's down with his head in his hands there. He knew he gave Mitten a little bit too much space, but there wasn't much you could do there anyway. Mitten had just beaten him and bought himself enough time to have a free crack at goal. And directionally, he's going to trouble a lot of goalkeepers.
And for all their hard work in this second quarter, Whitfords, they now find themselves 2-1 down. With 30 seconds left on the clock leading into half-time, they'll be kicking themselves. Phil Marshall will be kicking himself that his team's let someone of Trent Mitten's quality find so much space in the circle, and he rightly punishes them.
Long corner here. It was a good ball on the inside. 15 seconds to go. Farmer needs to find an option. Just needs to get this one in. Crafty underneath, but Max Bayman there to recover, and Mitten will probably just whack this one away. Gets a bit of air on it as well, just for a bit of finesse. Lucky not to go off the back of the stick. That's your half-time siren. 2 plays, 1 here. WASPS answering the call in the last 5 minutes of this second half. Fantastic to see. This game's going to come alive as we enter into the second half just now. We'll go down to Josh Dwayne's sideline.
Yeah, boys, I've got Coach Phil Marshall here. Phil, how did you see the first half?
Yeah, look, I think we started a bit slow, playing a bit narrow. So, look, managed to get back into the game. I think it's probably 2-1's probably a fair reflection where we sit at the moment. Just a little bit off the pace, a little bit off where I'd like us to be, but there's still half an hour to go.
What needs to change second half?
Look, I just think we need to be cleaner on the ball. I think we need to attack with a bit more width, a bit more depth, and just be more, I guess, committed to what we were trying to achieve, which is our game plan we spoke about before the game.
All the best, mate.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you very much, Josh. And Tim, a quick wrap from you, 10 seconds on the first half.
Messy, and I think Phil Marshall summed it up well there, and I think that probably applies to both teams. Just both teams struggling with their ball handling, need to be a little bit cleaner. Hopefully that improves in the second half.
So that's the first half done. Another great half of Premier League hockey coming your way in just a few moments. We'll take a short break. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to Perth. Welcome back to Perth Hockey Stadium. The score currently 2-1 in favour of Wasps. Let's head upstairs. Nick Neary and Tim Gears on commentary.
Whitford's with the pushback. Now heading right to left across your screen. Gonna have to build after giving away what was a nice little 1-0 lead. 5 minutes to go in the first half, and they gave 2 away. Trent Minton with just ball in hand and now decides, actually, it's my job to go forward, so I will. Not Pierce, just settling out wide, maybe Sampson. Nothing for Max Bayman to do there, but give that straight back. Even that, both passes, just not quite to any advantage here. Whitford's try steal, gonna in a little foot on it. Handy little touch on the inside for McGrath, just trying to fire it down. Foot just outside.
They're going to need more of that, Wasps, just taking the ball quickly and injecting a bit of energy into the game and trying to break apart this Whitford's defence.
Good advantage paid here by the umpire. Can move on quickly. Loose carry, just trying to go through McRae.
He's tackled his own teammate.
Hates everyone, even gives a shoulder after the ball.
There's a bit going on here. There's a bit going on here off the ball between Bryn DeBess and Josh McRae. A few handbags.
Nothing in it, we're all smiling. Pierce gets us back underway and we'll receive it back here. Plenty of touches for the fullback at the moment. Just trying to draw Whitford's out. Smart ball forward, but it's to a 2-on-1 again. And they want to play on quickly. McRae screaming for it long. Wise probably not to go there. And they just set up behind the ball. Bodenstaff didn't quite see Trent Minton. He's not going to be happy about that. Minton goes forward. Great tackle, Bodenstaff.
Yeah, it's an important tackle that he's made, because if he hadn't have made that, Trent Minton was in on goal. And he's done well to collect 100% of the ball there, because if he didn't, he could have found himself in a bit of trouble.
Forwards once again. Whitford looking, waiting for the free. Potter stands off to the side. Inboard chance. McRae just couldn't quite get to the bobbling ball that was in front of him. McGrath does well. Just wants to fling this one long. There was nothing happening. Minton applies a lot of pressure. Ball needs to get passed away here. You can't take Minton on all day.
Yeah, good work there by Anand Gupti. Very calm and composed with Trent Minton nipping at his heels.
Stolen here by Pierce. Comes out the side. They can roll forward through Charlie McIntyre. Just needs to get one on the inside. No, stays wide, fires it off the head of the keeper. Didn't even flinch. Jeez, he doesn't need to go on. Oh, it's on the shoulder.
Shoulder, yeah. He's done well to close it down, Di Sabato.
It's going to give him bigger raps if that was off the head. Great ball from Pierce. You could probably sense he's probably a bit frustrated too this afternoon. He's delivering such good midfield ball. It keeps falling apart around past him. McIntyre can't hold this one. That was lazy as well.
Yeah, it's been the theme of the day for Wasps. They get the ball up there and then just find a way to lose it at the moment. But the thing you've also got to remember about this Wasps team is it's a very, very young, inexperienced lineup. There's a number of players from the under-18 and under-21 cohort here, and sometimes it does take a number of years for these players to find their feet in first-grade hockey. It's not as simple as just getting thrown in the deep end and swimming for all of them.
And same
can take a while.
Same to a bit of what we were talking about at half-time. This Wasps team tend to play to the opposition, and with youngsters like that, as we see Minton quickly just turning on the inside. Bayman was on a good line, wants to get it now. Deflection, Bayman looking around just off his foot. With youngsters like that, they can play to the highest level, but if there's a lower opposition in front of them, they tend to just fall into the fold and mark the man exactly what's in front of them.
Yeah, that's right, and you're relying on those players who are young and inexperienced to drive the game and drive the tempo of the game. And again, it's not an easy thing for those players to do while they're still trying to find their feet or, you know, adapt to the level and the tempo of this hockey.
Great passing from Whitford. Started from Bodenstaff, ends up with McRae here. He gets straight through. Needs to keep a handle on things. Good ball on the inside, and they win the penalty corner.
Yeah, he's done really well there, Josh McRae. Wore a couple of tackles on the way through. He's just strong as an ox. Running at pace at the Wasps defence, but again, it comes from a skill error going forward from Wasps, and they get hurt on the counter-attack straight through the middle of the field. 1-2, bang. McRae goes at pace at Duncan Pearce, slips it past him, wears a tackle from Potter, does really well to just slip it onto the foot of Jack Lonergan, and they get an opportunity early in the second half to level scores.
Such a good work rate out of McRae.
Particularly if he's carrying a niggle.
Yeah.
Like we thought may have been the case earlier in the game. They've got 2 batteries here. Bodenstaff on the right battery and Arn Gupti on the left battery. Let's see which one it goes to. Goes to Gupti. Flicks direct, and it's a stick save by the keeper, Jai Clark. Does his job really well here. You can see on the replay. Comes to the first battery. Gupti flicks. It's a comfortable height for the goalkeeper, but he's still got a really strong right hand to it.
While Wasser away. Went from Murray McIntyre through Potter, ends up with Trent Mitten, wins the free, and he wanted to keep going.
Yeah, Jordan Moore, both hands up, apologising there.
Ball's good.
Probably just a little bit hasty on his whistle.
Awkward tackle and steal, gives McRae another chance in space. Comes back for Dev Chan, who just wants to push this one out on the right-hand side. Really nice tackle in front. And we all fumble over the sideline. Everyone looks all right. Inside ball, good one. And a chance to reset. Gupti. Out for Bodenstaff, who tries to lay this one in on a good angle, but Doak was in the way. Nicely done here by Charlie McIntyre again. Just falling back in defence. Bodenstaff gives away the free. Having a cheeky little look over the top. Defender's got the space and trapped nicely. Mitten would have been 1-on-none with the keeper if that went through. And a handy free win again. Advantage paid. Comes out here for Lyndon Ross. Ross again. Press starting just to form here from the Wasps. Bodenstaff just hits it on the leg. Referee allows it to play on. Pearce inboard for Mitten. Turns it over again. McRae. Good pass to advantage, not quite there. Pearce and McRae go underneath each other, fighting shoulder to shoulder. Whitford's end up the beneficiary. Goes underneath, and McGrath just gets a cop on the foot, but it could have gone either way underneath both of them.
Yeah, could have. And there's a good contest there by Duncan Pearce and Josh McRae. 2 big bodies fighting hard for possession of the ball. Taken quickly by Whitford, directly through the top of the circle. Jai Clark called into action.
Gee, a huge load up on the shot. Didn't have much power for how much he really wound up for it.
Oh, they can count themselves lucky, Wasps. Again, they're just losing focus in defence, allowing the Whitford's player to take it quickly and will march his way straight through the top of the circle.
Boys, the Whitford's physio has been very busy down here. Denver Farmer getting a lot of work done to his left hamstring. He's just come back on the ground after a long break.
Thanks, Josh. Ball plays across the back.
Earning his fee today, the physio. Whitford's by the sounds of it.
Murray McIntyre to play us back in. Just going to slay this through. Well defended. Almost high.
Yeah,
Low corner.
Looked dangerous to my eye, but Jordan Moore happy to let it go and award a long corner for Wasps, who'll restart through Bainham. Comes out to Cudby. We'll switch it back right. Matheson G, what can he come up with? It's a hospital ball into the midfield there. Midfielder's worst nightmare, those balls.
Devon Farmer just trying to do a little bit too much with it. Lost control. Max Bainham gets back on top. Doesn't like it.
You can see all 11 players behind the ball for Whitford's making it very congested at the top of the circle. So Wasps just trying to suck them out.
Off the hand and rolls over the right-hand side.
Yeah.
It's third quarter, passing by quickly. Only 6 minutes to go. Norton couldn't do anything with it down the side. Good ball, just cop foot.
Yeah, terrific pass from Joel Mitten. Just unable to be brought under control by Paul Robertson, but it was a fantastic pass from the right sideline out here across the field to the top of the circle.
Farmer recycles. Ball for Norton, just couldn't grab that.
Boys, Josh McRae just coming past me on the bench. He is a fiery customer, isn't he? Still very fired up, just taking a few deep breaths here on the sideline.
Yeah, he's never far out of the action, is Josh McRae. Very passionate.
Big turnover chance. Brennan Doak decides to lay it down the left side, gets it in deflection, ball stays alive, trying to stay out of the way, Whitford. And we're going to have a penalty corner. Call comes from the opposite umpire, and they're going to have a chat about it just to confer.
Yeah, I thought it was played off the back of the stick by the Whitford's defender. It's been called by the non-controlling umpire, Tom Keating, on the far side. Jordan Moore looking to him for some assistance. We'll try and catch this on the replay here. Not quite, but I thought it was...
Okay, no, it wasn't back of the stick. I thought it might have hit his body as it's gone past him. No, so it's going to be a free hit. Guys, it's a free hit out. I thought it might have hit body on the way through, which is what he was pointing to. Free hit out.
Well...
Just wait for me. Wait for them to get set.
Interesting explanation. So Tom Keating, from his viewpoint on the far side, thought it was back of the stick. Jordan Moore assuring him that it wasn't played off the back of the stick and that he awarded the penalty corner thinking that it might have struck the player's body on the way out of the circle, but that wasn't the case. So he's happy to restart play with a 16-yard hit, but the ball's coming straight back.
Max Bainham, the player in motion, wants to receive this back. Good little chance for Paul Robinson, just couldn't find a fire off. Intercepted. Robertson wants to make up for the ball he just gave away. Keeps on top of it. Free just outside the circle. Got to travel 5. They're going to go directly back for Bainham. Shuffles around the left. Wins another free. Whitford not happy with it. Reckons he's got the 5. Gets inside. Bainham. Good tackle. Really well held the space there.
Yeah. Crucial tackle deep in defence. Max Bainham took the free hit quickly on the edge of the circle, found his way into the circle, tried to pop it on a foot, but there's a nice low tackle under pressure.
I can see there's an extra thought in your head about that play. Go on. If it's a roast of Wasps, we'll go with it.
No, I thought the free hit initially was fairly soft, but Max Bainham played it exactly how he should have. Caught them within the 5 and played it quickly and made his way into the circle. And
Dev Chan wears one.
Collision.
Not their turn, sorry.
Whack.
Lyndon Ross.
Goodness me. Well, they've let plenty... they've... Skill error deep in defence. Whitford's player tried to take it quickly. Lost his footing. He'll get another crack at it, but... I was just going to say, the umpires have let plenty go. There's been a few loose tackles and a few collisions throughout the afternoon. They've been happy to let it go.
Set up just outside the circle. Julian Montone just feeds it back. With Prunster across for Bodenstaff, who starts to get a wheel forward. Just flicks this one inside the circle. Good control. Doesn't get the foot. Trent Minton can do the cleaning up work. Wants to take them all on. Goes over the top and outside. Unable to control it. Whitford's get another chance. 3 minutes to go in this third period. A leveler here would spice up this fourth quarter. Trying to go through them all. Devon Farmer tries to go inboard, blocks nicely, gets it back. Now really wants this penalty corner. Flicks it across. There for Bodenstaff. Not Bodenstaff, but they flick it in. Well defended once again. Another bold customer inside the circle. Gee, they're coming from everywhere at the moment. Lachlan Sampson putting effort on the ball.
Bodies flying everywhere at the moment. It's all happening.
Intercepted sharply. Matthew Christie, the skipper, goes straight. This ball not great. They both looked at each other. Left it for Brynda Best just to take it out of nowhere.
The game's opened up a bit here, Nick.
Sampson wants to play quickly. Who's screaming onto it? It's got to be Potter. He's coming from a mile away. Ball has to come in. Bodenstaff does his best to hold the ball in. Free inside the circle and well tackled. That ball goes loose. So after a period of energy, it looks like everybody's just switched off here.
Yeah, I think they're just taking a breath because Lachlan Sampson in front of us is just on his haunches. The game's been much more open in this third quarter, and again, it's been a very physical game. There's a few sore boys out there. We've just seen another one come off for Whitfords.
Yeah, boys, Cooper Prunce has just come off the field here. He is really struggling. Same issue, lower leg, and the physio earning his money, as you said, just attending to him now.
Mitten
Dotted 5, guys, on the dot.
wins a free. Just on the outer circle. Sampson has a little dart around, gets inside nicely. No one waiting at the top. Turned over again, but the pressure here from the Wasps, they're really cramping down on things at the moment. Well won on the free. Just going to have to flick this one backwards. Will Gupty. Over the top, Gupty charging on. He's going to have the space. Tries to trap it. Stolen through the middle by Jack Cudby.
That's an unbelievable trap. I think with one hand and its reverse stick, because the Whitfords player was in behind there. He's plucked it straight out of the air, as we can see Cooper Prunster
boys,
attended to.
Getting his right ankle strapped up as we speak.
Danger signs here for Whitford. They're just hanging on as it is at the moment. 32 seconds to go in this third period. Mitten, ball in hand, two circling through McIntyre and Potter. Wins the free, wants to go here. Not the ball he needed.
No, they're just on different wavelengths.
Sideline, guys, and meter up
Mitten
from the
and
corner.
Sampson on that occasion.
That'll
Mitten
do, that'll do.
begging him to go forward. Wasn't forthcoming from Sampson. And this one will just go over the top as the seconds creep down to three-quarter time. Fascinating fourth quarter ahead of us here, Nick.
Yeah, certainly is going to be a massive one. I think Whitford, they're not out of this at all yet. The scratchiness from Wasps just rings true and true. When they look good, they look about 3 or 4 times better at the moment, but I've only seen that for maybe 4 minutes in this second half so far.
Could be a case of just how many players they can carry through to the end of the game, because when they break forward quickly, Whitford, they look dangerous all the time, but it's through the likes of McRae and Denver Farmer, who are both carrying niggles, so Phil Marshall, the coach, would just be hoping he can get another 15 minutes out of his team here.
What's the message down at Whitford? We'll hear just now inside their huddle.
Yeah. I did, but as soon as I turned to you and you did that one, I was like, okay.
Simple, this last quarter. Okay. Front three, mid three, free defender, back three. Okay, I need us to get up, congest this midfield a little bit more. Okay, just to make sure we can win this ball in these areas in the midfield. Okay, it's still a little bit sloppy. That was a much better quarter, okay, in terms of our work rate, our consistency, okay, our effort across the board. Okay, the connection's still not quite there. Okay, but it's 15 minutes for us to build on that. Okay, get back to 2-2, then the game's on. Okay, defensively, just react a little bit quicker for me, please. Okay, the ball's turned over. Let's drop back. Okay, make sure we're plugging the gaps through the mids. Plugging the gaps into the centre mid, so they've got to play back and around 11 on us. Okay? How are we feeling?
Is the mid three is man on man?
No, still zonal. Let them move. Right?
Just communication with that, boys.
Boys, it's 15 minutes of hard work here, hard grind. Okay, lift our standards. Okay, at the moment we're here, we need to get up to here. Okay, communicate it, push it. Okay, as I said before, start making some positive mistakes, taking the game on. Okay, we need to have a crack at this to get back to 2-2.
Yeah, you could hear Phil Marshall there. He's a pretty calm customer, boys, and certainly his side needed it. You could sense there was a little bit of frustration creeping in, some loose tackles, as you mentioned. So Phil Marshall just keeping things very calm down on the sideline.
And it sounds like he's just going to change the structure a little bit for this final quarter. He was mentioning there that they're just going to play a little bit more traditional with 3 strikers, 3 midfielders, a sweeping defender and 3 defenders behind him. But you could also hear him say that they're going to stick to their zonal structure in defence, potentially just bringing an extra midfielder back to clog up the midfield. Obviously not happy with how much ball Wasps are able to find through the middle of the field.
Robinson just wears one on the way out. Little sorry there, 17 on 17, Christie. Interesting to see how this all plays out. Good turn on the inside. Gupty goes up the middle. Tries to fire it out the right. This is looking better. McRae straight on goal. What a save. Keeps it alive. McRae still inboard. Has another flick at the line. Gee, that's good goalkeeping.
Yeah, very good by Jai Clark again. Wasps can thank him, but it was Gupti coming forward through the middle of the field. Spat it out to Simon Norton, who just popped the ball through to Josh McRae. Once again, very busy. Had 2 bites at the cherry, and Jai Clark called him to action for his team.
Nice work down the left sideline. Mitten gets a clear ball up the line. Paul Robinson gave it everything he had, but just couldn't get there in time.
Boys, Cooper Prunster, we mentioned that right ankle. He has had it strapped. It's just starting off the field at the moment, but expect him to maybe come back on.
Well, they're dropping like flies, so we're going to need every single one of these Whitford's players to make an effort in this last. They're within snatching distance here. That's not going to help there. Julian Montone just gives it away, but stays alive in the contest, giving away the free on the tackle, though. Little obstruction. Whilst recycle round the left-hand side.
It's just not a whole lot of energy off the ball here from either team. 22 players walking across the field. Makes it hard to find options if no one's moving.
That's going to be the difference. We talk about the youth in this Wasps side. They just pick up that energy rate a little bit, find something. They can get through this defence. Mitten, probably the one trying the hardest and the most experienced of them all out there, just finds himself in the right spot every time. Potter, ball was a little bit behind him, so had to slow up. Can feed this back from Mitten, has to put the stick in one hand, full stretch out, flicking over the top nicely. Good opportunity. That just not the cleanest ball through, but McIntyre's got time just to plot around, wins the penalty corner.
It was an interesting choice by Potter. He was through on the circle one-on-one with his player, chose to dump it back to Trent Mitten in support. Probably just ran out of legs, Potter. But again, Charlie McIntyre buzzing around the circle there, does a really good job to win a penalty corner for his team. If they can execute this well, Mitten's on the field. Just trying to have a look if Duncan Pearce is out there as well. He is, directing the chat and huddle at the top of the circle, but if they jail this, it's a long road back for Whitford's in his 4th quarter.
Completely changes the mindset. All the Whitford's players out there, and they don't have enough time to go back to the coach and regather the thoughts again.
They've got their full complement on here. Full arsenal. Pearce and Mitten at the top of the circle. Goes to Pearce.
Well blocked.
Very well run down by Anand Gupti. Hits him square in the middle of the shin pad, so Wasps will have a second go at it.
Just like the way he came out here. Really squares the shoulders late, had both shins and the stick all in the 3 tram track parallel.
And it looks like they're even running 2 players at the ball, just for that extra protection on the left side of the goal.
Missed trap. Still a chance. Potter wants to get it inside. Littlefoot just outside by the skin of their teeth here, Whitford's. Potter can just go inboard if he wants, just can go across the side. Love to see that. That's travelled 5 over the top of the circle. Now stolen, tackle made, and they can get clear, almost a foot on that. Just trying to get around McGrath. And a good release of pressure here in the end for Whitford. It's not coming to hand, but Devon Farmer probably the right option.
Just gaining yards and just giving his team an opportunity just to take a breath and get their structure right. They've absorbed a lot of pressure in the opening 3 minutes of this quarter.
Bainham just circles around the left nicely, but then poor pass. Didn't really get anything on it, but then no real urgency from Whitfords to take control of that ball, and DeBess almost got it back.
Cooper Prunster just making his way back onto the field, having that ankle strapped up. Here he is.
Straight into the thick of things. Wants to take the body on contact, so must be feeling all right. Wins the free. Needs someone to push into this space on the right. They're very cramped in and around the ball. Not much movement. Bodenstaff puts his right back under a lot of pressure. Now gets it back to himself in open space.
Says trap that.
Once again sets up here. Cooper Prunster just tries to lay it through the middle. Nothing Stevenson could do. Slow ball hit. 10 minutes to go in the 4th period. Whitfords really want one soon. Give themselves enough time to get another and push in front. Steal this one.
2 balls, guys. Just wait.
long corner here. They'll lay it back. Good ball on the outside. Just trying to look for a real good 45 angled ball. Couldn't see it, so they head back. Bonestaff now goes aerial. They claim the space. No.
No, that wasn't ever going to come off for him with 6 or 7 players standing on top of each other. Interesting choice.
Plenty of touches here since coming back on. Cooper Prunster.
He's been busy, hasn't he?
Nicely up the middle. Gupti gets dispossessed.
It's not the person you want to turn it over to running at speed.
Trent Mitten tries to go through them all. Didn't deflect himself. Outside it.
Outside, guys. Outside. Outside. Yeah.
Mitten now plays on quickly. Wants to feed it in himself. Crafty ball. Potter just chips it. Little lob wedge over the top, not affecting anything.
He's got a box in your goal.
No, just couldn't quite execute the tomahawk there. Hit it flush with the back of his stick. Gives Whitfords a let off and a chance to come forward now through Simon Norton out on the right wing. Draws the free hit from Brennan Doak. Plays on quickly. Pops it through to goal. And it's touched. It's right in front of the goalkeeper. It's gone in.
Vishan Devchan just in the right spot at the right time, and all he did is stick the broomstick out.
He just crept up on Jai Clark here, who probably was watching the ball coming to his feet, and before he knew it, Devchan had popped in front. Got a touch ever so slight. It's done him all ends up.
Don't even think he knew he was coming. Didn't think he was that close to him at all. Jai Clark, all eyes for the ball, all eyes for the passer. All of a sudden, we've got a game on our hands
2-2.
here, Tim.
We do have a game on, and it would be interesting to see who can bring the energy to this final 8.5 minutes, because so all of a sudden Wasps have to find a way to score again, and Whitfords will have their tails up.
Julian Montaigne just foxing a little bit after giving away the free. Halts the momentum, allows the defense to set. So Mitten will just go back. Ends up with Potter in the middle.
Well, you can see how quickly things change, because Potter, with one opportunity at this end, wasn't able to execute, and Whitford goes straight down the other end and make Wasps pay for it. And here they come again through Simon Norton.
Just pushes through nicely.
He's worn 1 or 2 tackles on the way through there. Taken quickly. Taken quickly, and unfortunately for Whitfords, it's about 10 yards further back than where the ball was taken from.
With you here, guys. Back here. Keep coming, Denver. To me, to me, to me. Yeah. Good.
They'll
guys.
bring it all the way back and allow Wasps to get numbers behind the ball. But Whitford's looking dangerous all of a sudden. They've got their second goal. And here they go again.
Norton fires across, looking deflection. Keep it in well there, Jai Clark.
Well, Wasps really need to sort this out at the back. There's a loose player just standing in the middle of the circle, Simon Norton.
Murray McIntyre gets turned inside out. Did the right thing to try to read the pass across, but now Whitford's in again, just not getting the final touch. Gee, Norton's everywhere at the moment. He's coming in at all angles, getting ready for this big one. I'd imagine the Wasps coach is starting to freak out just a little bit on the sidelines. Great work, Farmer. Inside, tries to draw the free. Couldn't quite get there.
McRae right in the thick of things once again, throwing his body around.
Yeah,
but it was a terrific piece of skill there by Denver Farmer to eliminate the first 2. Just didn't fall their way in the circle.
Montone just really giving away a couple of frees in the last few minutes. I like his eagerness, but he's not being the cleanest here for Whitfords. Needs to be part of this goal to go forward. Great work, Farmer. Turns his player inside out. Tries to fling it out. Good chance for Visant Devchan if he's got the pace to get there. The big man does. Can go down the right-hand side. Tries to turn it in. Wins the free.
He's done well.
They don't look to go quickly.
No, Denver Farmer set him a task, and he really had to chase, keep the ball in, and that speed was able to control it, keep the ball in.
Chance on
here.
Goal. Oh, just getting the body in the way, McGrath, was vital. They're back inside again. Just can't get the shot off. Needed to find a pass off first touch there. They win the free. Now
They've
all
got
of
Murray
Whitford's...
McIntyre out the back here if it can find its way to him, but overhead just didn't have enough legs on it. They send it straight back.
Bonus off twice now with that really direct ball. Trying to find a bit of space. Hasn't worked. But at least they don't allow that counter-attack to come to fruition. 5 minutes to go here. Don't know what camp I'd rather be in, to be honest.
You can hear Di Sabato absolutely screaming at his players to get set up.
Nice chance down the left-hand side. Paul Robinson trying to set it all up. Wins the ball on the sideline. And waits patiently. Fires it back and across. Will come out for Matheson G. No, they don't want a part of him. Well foxed into it. Montona had nowhere to go. Now we come for Bainham. Down the left-hand side. Similar spot to where he was before. Gets inside on this occasion. Looking, searching. Nobody wants to give this free away. Tackled really sweetly.
I would have just loved to have, he did everything so well there, Max Bainham. I just would have loved to have seen him once he got it back on his forestick, just send the ball into the dangerous area in front of the goal. Then the pressure's really on the defence to make a clean possession of it. If they get it wrong, it's a penalty corner. Instead, he tried to just keep the stick on his ball. Here's Paul Robertson in the circle, busy, well tackled. Again, Anam Gupti, the one for Whitford's cleaning up deep in defence. Pivotal tackle.
Boys, Trent Mitten, he's been off the field for the last couple of minutes. They're desperate to get him back on, finally now re-entering the play.
Murray McIntyre comes off for him. Now Mitten. Oh, good sound effects there. Just Mitten screeching on the brakes, trying to get back to a less than average first touch.
Yeah, he's away if Sampson was able to find him there, but the connection once again just lacking.
Bodenstaff with pace on, gives it to Dev Chan. Now this one's sideline. Bodenstaff won't be able to get there. Bainham, get us back in. 3:30. Who pulls the trigger first here? Do we drop a keeper? Does it mean that much, or are we just going to play this out?
I'm not quite sure. That is a good question. But again, Potter's just worn 2 tackles on the way through, and they've let it go, as they have all afternoon. But to break down tackle, and I've seen cards given for less.
Potter goes over the top. Needs to be smacked away and is. Matthew Stevenson, I believe. Trent Mitten, sideline ball. Wants to use his skills. Got himself a little caught up. So hands it back for Pearson. It'll come through Cudby and find Gee all the way on the right now. They look to inject. Great work there by Josh McRae to get the stick involved and gets it back again. And then a no-looker just goes through the defender's leg. Stevenson tries to push through, wins the free. Heating up here, Whitfords. 2.5 to go. And then Gupti fires a long ball over the top. Defender held the space well. And deflects off. Potter just search for it, says throw it back. Still anyone's game here. Struggled for wins all year, both these sides. They both don't want this one to end in a draw, that's for sure. Gee, almost one that could pivotally get called on ya. Wasn't the most incidental.
Not.
The
They
best.
haven't been clean around the back all afternoon, Wasps, and got away with one. Charlie McIntyre trying to make something work here. Well cleaned up again by Anand Gupti.
He had more time than I thought. Than he thought he did there.
I think he thought there was a free hit coming, but it didn't. Now the ball's coming back at him, but again, no passage through for Duncan Pearson. Here comes Simon Norton again. You spoke about him bringing the energy to this final quarter. And
Good free one. Minute 20 left on the clock. It's all going to come down to this next minute or so. Bodenstaff's pass almost intercepted, and he's going to have to get it back here. No, they'll recycle through the fullback.
I think we'll see an opportunity come. From what we've seen in this fourth quarter, I'd be surprised if neither team had an opportunity to score in this final minute.
Geez, Mitten's tackling. It's almost sublime once again. He's had so much of it. Need to get forward. 55 seconds. No need to panic. Minutes and eternity in this game.
Oof.
Great work in the air. Just trying to spin around, and the shot comes on. Just came off the outside of the stick.
There's your opportunity that I just spoke about. And it was a good one too. It was Montone carrying the ball forward with skill. Wore an agricultural tackle on the way through. Just couldn't find the target. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was another opportunity still.
Mitten fires for Potter. gives him chance to weigh up his options. Comes down the side. This is the one for Max Bain, and keeper comes out, absolutely covers the ball, and it can't be intentional. It's a long corner nonetheless, though. Bryn de Best has to get it in with 10 seconds to go. Whitford's clamour on the ball, buys them time. They need to play quickly. De Best accidentally off the foot, helps with 3 on the clock, and that'll be the end of the ball game, you would assume. Well, a big end to this one, and not the one the fans wanted, neither the players. 2-2 draw. Both these teams cannot get another win for the season.
Well, D. Sabata, who was everywhere all afternoon, and you can see a crucial save with 15 seconds left on the clock. He just did enough. I'm not sure how much he knew about it, but he just did enough. And his team come away with a point. It's an even contest all game, a game that lacked energy in large parts, but overall, you'd probably say it's a fair result in the end.
Yeah, D. Sabata just doing what his mum used to sing, just being a boot-scooting baby, just trying to keep it out as best as he could. We'll head down onto the sideline now with Josh Dwayne, who I believe has one of the Whitford's players.
Yeah, thanks, boys. One of the stars of today, Josh McRae. 2-2 result. How do you feel about that?
It was a tough slog, but the boys did well. I think we started a bit slow, come back in towards the end. I think a couple more minutes would have been a different story, but boys dug deep, got a draw, got the point, so we'll take that for today.
Very physical game, really entertaining to watch. How did you find it out there? Seemed to love it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I love a bit of mongrel, so the boys love a bit of bump. So yeah, it's good fun.
Well, excellent, mate. Well done today.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Thanks very much, Josh, and thanks very much, McRae, as well there. Tim, an unsuccessful afternoon for both teams, but you've got to be happy with the way both played, even though it was scrappy.
Yeah, I think it was a frustrating start for both teams. They weren't very clean throughout the afternoon, but each team had glimpses of quality throughout the game, and to be very fair, both goalkeepers were called into action on a number of occasions. They've probably done well to keep it to 2-2 because both goalkeepers, as I said, had numerous saves and important ones for their side. And if they weren't up to scratch, their teams wouldn't have been coming away with the point that they have done.
Well, thank you very much. Sideline Josh Dwayne, Tim Gears up here in the box of me, and I've been Nick Neary. This has been Premier League Hockey, a 2-2 draw, Wasps and Whitfords. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you all next time.